And whether that's to get them into college on a scholarship or whatnot, or just to have fun and to grow, that is one of their non-negotiables for a lot of parents. They're spending, upwards of $1,000 a month per kid.
Eskelsen says they've seen a 300% increase in overnight room bookings since 2021, and they only expect the market to keep growing. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
First Lady Abby Cox joined Real Salt Lake today in hosting the 5th annual Utah Special Olympics soccer tournament. Cox tells KSL TV that she's a former special education teacher, so these kinds of events are important to her.
This is an opportunity for me and my team to get involved and to put on this state tournament for Special Olympics and with Special Olympics. But this is about the kids. This is about the kiddos having an opportunity. When they got diagnosed or when their family got a diagnosis, they never thought that it would be them right here at RSL Stadium having an opportunity to play in front of their peers, in front of the state.
She says kids come from all over the state to compete. Degrading crust at the Bonneville Salt Flats could be the end of speed racing events held in the area. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis has more.
Across the flats, cars can reach speeds up to or even over 500 miles per hour. Organizers of the World of Speed event tell the Salt Lake Tribune this is from the thick layer of salt found on the flats. But the layers have been degrading, and when racers came this year, the crust was hardly even an inch. Racers believe the majority of the salt has been taken by the nearby fertilizer mine Intrepid. In the past, the state and federal governments paid Intrepid to flood the flats with their waste salt, but funding from the federal government stopped and the state followed suit.
Organizers with the Salt Flats Racing Association say if the crust gets much thinner, it will be difficult to continue racing events. KSL's top national stories. We are standing by waiting for more details on the peace deal between Hamas and Israel. It still needs final approval, but the first phase could start to play out this weekend, starting with the release of dozens of hostages. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
The Israeli officials will certainly want this to be a seamless exchange. If you'll recall, in one of the last prisoner release exchanges and hostage release, there was a big ceremony, and some of the hostages were paraded through thousands of people. That is what the Israelis don't want to see again. It's our understanding that they have made that demand that on this next exchange.
If all goes well, the hostages could be home by Monday or Tuesday. Other national stories KSL is following this hour. It's day 9 of the government shutdown, and lawmakers are still divided on multiple issues.
Republicans are saying that Democrats need to reopen the government, vote on that temporary funding bill, and then they can talk about any of the issues, including health care, that Democrats are pushing for. But Democrats, on the other hand, argue that they're not going to take a verbal promise from Republicans that they need to have good faith negotiations right now on health care, especially extending those Obamacare subsidies that are set to expire later this year.
That is ABC's Selena Wang reporting. Senator John Curtis is speaking out on the shutdown, posting a conversation on X saying it's unreasonable to force a government shutdown to pursue spending increases.
We've always been fighting for, hold on, guys, we can't be spending this money. We got to use this time to make this point that we're spending too much money. Democrats are literally saying we are going to use this as a time and place to demonstrate that we think we should be spending more money.
Curtis says Republicans know that holding out and forcing a government shutdown has historically not ended well for them. Utah Senator Mike Lee is also not happy about the shutdown. He says Democrats are in denial, and that's why they keep pushing for changes to the proposed spending bill. He claims Democrats want to give health care to immigrants who cross the border illegally. However, Democrats have continued to refute that claim, saying that's not what they're trying to do, and immigrants in country illegally are ineligible for federal health care benefits. We will also be talking to Congressman Mike Kennedy about this at 12:15 to get his take on the situation. First look traffic. What's happening, Ricky?
Nice and quiet on the Valley freeways, good speeds. We are dealing with a disabled vehicle at the bottom of the exit ramp from I-215's West Belt at 4700 South in Taylorsville. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
Everybody knows that exterior remodeling salespeople are all about the high-pressure sell. Am I right? Windows, siding, gutters, those suckers are going to twist your arm and get you to buy, or they won't leave your house at night. Tim Jr. here from RGS Exteriors, and I want you to know we don't have high-pressure cells. In fact, we don't even have salespeople. Nope, we have estimators. That's a huge difference. Estimators are trained to look at the entire scope of the project, to see and know if there are any problems, like rotten wood, wood-borne insects, or construction issues specific to your house or your neighbors. Salespeople are more concerned about playing those silly price games. Buy one, get one free, sign today and get 40% off, as if they didn't just jack the price up to give you a fake discount. RGS Exteriors estimators are going to give you a great quote. No games, no tricks, no nonsense. Call RGS Exteriors to quote your exterior project. Our number is 801-280-3110 or visit us at rgsutah.com. That's rgsutah.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Utah can count on.
If you are facing divorce, call Cordell and Cordell today.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. CordellCordell.com.
Thank you for joining us for Midday. Recapping our top story, sports tourism is booming in Utah, bringing in just under $200 million to Salt Lake County last year. KSL News Time 12:07. A 17-year-old boy has died following a motorcycle crash on Bangerter Highway in Bluffdale last night. This happened on the ramp at 2700 West. Utah Highway Patrol Lieutenant Danny Allen says the boy tried to illegally pass traffic through a blocked-off area and hit a barrier, killing him.
People got to be vigilant. The riders need to be vigilant in their surroundings, what's ahead of them, and try not to be aggressive like that.
According to the latest data from the state's Zero Fatalities website, 60 people have been killed in motorcycle-related crashes in Utah this year. This has been the deadliest year for riders in at least the last decade. Police are cracking down on street racing in Ogden. More than 30 officers from 6 agencies made over 170 stops over the weekend along Washington Boulevard. Almost 70 tickets and 100 warnings were issued. 2 people were arrested, including one for driving under the influence. A Riverton man is facing a felony charge accused of severely beating up a 14-year-old for ding-dong ditching his house. KSL News Radio's Randall Jepson has more.
This happened back in June, but the charges were just filed this week. And the probable cause statement says this 14-year-old, he was out with some friends in Riverton. They decided to go ring some doorbells on some townhomes and run. But when they looked back, 3 men came out of a garage. They were chasing them. This 14-year-old, he fell down in some rocks. And police say the kid was held down, punched, kicked, and had his head slammed down into the rocks. Well, when it was all over, the kid had a concussion, broken braces, and bruises all over. Police later tracked down and arrested Marshall Aho for reckless aggravated child abuse. Randall Jepson, KSL News Radio.
This is one of several ding-dong ditching cases involving adults accused of attacking kids over the past year. In August, a Salt Lake man was charged with kidnapping and child abuse for not letting a 12-year-old go until his parents arrived. And in September, a woman was arrested in Mapleton accused of hitting and threatening a kid with a weapon who rang her doorbell and ran. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America. Turn everyday spending into an extraordinary escape. Ricky?
We have a nice drive on I-15, both directions. If you're traveling between Ogden and Provo, you're good to go. No accidents, no delays. The rest of your Salt Lake County freeways also seeing good speeds. Only the one problem that we have from the freeway, it's in Taylorsville, a disabled vehicle in the center lane of travel at the bottom of the off-ramp from northbound I-215's West Belt at 4700 South in Taylorsville. Downtown, Salt Lake City PD wrapping up a crash at 7th South and 3rd West. From system install to fast fixes to delivering award-winning heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical, call Whipple Service Champions for the win today. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Active weather patterns setting up over the next couple of days. I got partly cloudy skies today with a high of 82. By late tonight, showers, 62 for a low. 76 tomorrow, AM showers, then a lull in the activity tomorrow afternoon. By tomorrow night, showers resume. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Partly cloudy in downtown Salt Lake City and 79 degrees. Coming up on Midday with Maria Shilaos. We're going to look inside the halls of Congress as the shutdown continues. We'll go in depth with Representative Mike Kennedy. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio, sponsored by At Your Service Pros. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. Have you given up on trying to take off those extra pounds because you just don't think you have the time to exercise for an hour a day, or you think you just can't lose weight? I'd like to tell you about a plan that has helped me lose more than 40 pounds. It's Salt Lake City Fat Loss. This is an all-natural plan that strategically uses a combination of foods to help you drop the weight fast. And you know how it is. If those pounds come off quickly, you are more likely to stick with the plan. Since it's all natural, you don't have to worry about any side effects or medications, and is not as expensive as other plans because you aren't required to buy things like breakfast bars and shakes. Plus, Salt Lake City Fat Loss has a great app that not only keeps you accountable, it also allows you to reach out and ask questions or voice concerns at any time. Their app also gives you a 1-minute inspirational video each morning and a ton of other resources and recipes to help you be successful. I've lost more than 40 pounds, but many of their clients lose up to a pound per day. Wouldn't that be nice before you take all of those holiday photos? Learn how you can save $200 now. It is their fall special. Learn more at slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
KSL News Time 12:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
local experts say sports tourism, especially for youth sports, has become a core part of our economy, bringing in nearly $200 million to Salt Lake County's economy just last year. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, a Riverton man is facing an aggravated child abuse charge, accused of beating up a 14-year-old who rang his doorbell and ran. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
We have had an accident in the cleanup stages. Not going to cause you any problems now. 7th South, 3rd West. A disabled vehicle, though, is blocking a center lane of traffic in Taylorsville. This is at the bottom of the exit ramp from I-215's West Belt at 4700 South. Ricky Meeson, the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking at warm temperatures today in the 80s, increasing clouds late, and some showers overnight. I'm Matt Johnson.
Really nice right now. Partly cloudy downtown, 79 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Relief and celebrations in Israel after the announcement of an agreement between Israel and Hamas on phase one of a peace plan laid out by the White House. The president asked about the deal during his cabinet meeting. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has more.
Mary Bruce, our colleague, asked some really important questions there because we heard the president talking about what phase one looks like. And we knew that because, of course, he announces with great fanfare last night. And the focus, of course, has been on the hostages getting released, which he said would be Monday or Tuesday. But Mary pushed him on what comes next in phase two, because that right now is unknown and that could be complicated and that could take a long time. And we've seen negotiations before get through a phase one where some hostages have been released only to see things fall apart in a phase two.
Israeli lawmakers still need to approve the deal. A federal judge hearing arguments on whether to block the deployment of 500 Texas and Illinois-based National Guard troops in Illinois. Some are stationed at ICE Processing Center in Broadview, just outside of Chicago, to provide additional security. President Trump has said Chicago is overrun by crime, even though Chicago police stats show crime is down 34% from 4 years ago. For the seventh time, the Senate failing to advance a Republican clean short-term measure to fund the government. And House Speaker Mike Johnson appearing on C-SPAN earlier today and took questions from listeners across the country, including one from a military mom begging that the speaker bring the House back into session to pass a standalone bill to provide military troops pay. The caller, identified as Samantha, is a Republican from Virginia. She says she has 2 medically fragile children and her husband suffers from PTSD from his 2 tours in Afghanistan.
I'm begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die.
For now, the government shutdown continuing. The House remains out of session. You're listening to ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. As you just heard on ABC News, we are on day 9 of the government shutdown as the Senate continues to disagree on a funding plan. Congressman Mike Kennedy joins me now live. Congressman, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me on, Maria.
So we can hear how folks are being impacted by this shutdown. What are your thoughts as it continues?
It's fascinating to think that we sent, it's been 20 days ago, a check over to the Senate to actually fund all of those programs that this individual that you just reported on want us to fund. And the Senate Democrats continue to refuse to do that. With a hostage taking of the American people in our government, a $1.5 trillion request. So the reality is we've already funded all of those things. It's a matter of Chuck Schumer and the Democrats on the Senate side. We need 7 of them. If we can't get 60, then we're not going to be able to pass this continuing resolution to fund the government, which we 20 days ago actually sent over from the House.
Congressman, how long do you anticipate this continuing?
I'm an optimistic fellow, and I thought sensibly this wouldn't last more than a week, and I'm on record saying that a week ago. The Democrats, though, I understand they have a protest coming up October 18th, and since March, when they did this before, it seems like Chuck Schumer wants to show Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that he's got a spine because he's afraid of a primary from the representative that might run for that Senate seat in New York. And so he's trying to hold firm, and it looks like October 18th, which is a long ways in the future. I think our listeners all should be very disturbed that the Democrats on the Senate side are going to hold hostage the American people through October 18th and maybe even beyond because of this Washington, D.C. protest that they're planning on holding.
Congressman, why not maybe come to some sort of compromise? What's at stake here?
I've been asked that a couple times before, and $1.5 trillion, and if you and your listeners would just write down the number, $1.5 trillion, some people have said, well, why don't you just meet them halfway? You want me to $750 billion just without any committee debate, without any discussion? In fact, we didn't even with our 20 days ago, the continuing resolution that we passed to fund the government, we already passed it out of the House. They didn't bring this up at all. And now all of a sudden, Chuck Schumer's in this position where he says, okay, compromise, $750 billion. It's no wonder, Maria, that we have a $37 trillion deficit if that's what people want us to do. And I just think it's totally inappropriate. I'll also say for 8 months now with hospitals and insurance companies, as a doctor, I've been having these conversations with them about these healthcare issues. I and the Republican conference are more than happy to have those conversations in an appropriate setting. We need to open the government. We've already funded that on the House side, and we just need the Senate Democrats to do it on the Senate side. And if the American people will go along with us and actually push those Senate Democrats, we can have those conversations if people want to have them. But we've already voted to support these medically frail people that are concerned that they might not get their medical benefits. We've already funded the TSA and the border security people, and it's just a matter of Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats to come along with us.
Congressman, appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me on.
Live on the KSL Newsline, that is Congressman Mike Kennedy. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America. Turn everyday spending into an extraordinary escape. Ricky?
Kind of a quiet drive on the Valley freeways at this time, just the way we like it. Good speeds, lighter traffic, and no problems. Higher elevations, looking good through the canyons if you're up to do some leaf peeping. We've had a few spots of busy traffic on Highway 89 in Davis and Weber County. That's mostly between the I-84 junction up to about the Costco and on to about 30th Street, but overall nothing to get concerned about. And our main secondaries, West Davis, Legacy, State Street, Redwood, Bangerter, Mountain View, all good. A little bit of busy traffic with the roadwork southbound Mountain View as you're going to Daybreak. No matter the weather, your feet can feel fantastic. Find the Good Feet location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Ricky Neese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. We start with sunshine today, but finish with clouds and maybe a shower late. Daytime highs right around 82. 76 tomorrow. We'll see an AM shower Friday morning, a break Friday afternoon, and then showers return Friday evening. 76 for a high. 73 with thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. Some could be strong on Saturday. Sunday, downright cool. 56, partly cloudy skies. Mostly sunny up into the 60s on Monday. Tuesday, 66, mostly cloudy, 30% chance, and then showers next Wednesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now in downtown Salt Lake City, 79 degrees. The 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. A quick check of the markets at this hour. Seeing a lot of negative numbers. A complete update of your money news is coming up next.
When you take your grandkids to Disney, do they know what's in your investment portfolio? Do they even care? They're busy having a great time, and you're busy making memories. At Galileo Wealth Management, we understand the nuts and bolts of retirement planning, our investments, the stock market, taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and more. But think about it. What are you trying to do here? Is your goal to beat the S&P? Or is your goal to make memories with your family? Our goal is to give you the confidence to spend in retirement without the fear of running out of money. Call Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management today, 801-516-3227. That's 801-516-3227, or go online to GalileoWealth.com. Let Todd Kim and Galileo Wealth Management help you make memories, not just money.
Hey guys, it's Woodrow from Mint Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED? Well, you are not alone, and now there's a real solution that treats the root cause, not just the symptoms. Introducing our trifecta approach, a breakthrough combination of acoustic wave therapy, hormone replacement, and cryotherapy, all designed to restore blood flow, boost performance, and rebalance your hormones. Whether it's ED or hormonal imbalance, if you're ready to reignite your love life, this treatment helps bring back your energy, your drive, and your confidence. And right now, when you call, you'll receive a free consultation, a blood flow ultrasound, and an intimacy gift. That's a $650 value, absolutely free. And here's the bonus. The next 20 callers will also receive a 5-night stay at a luxury resort in Hawaii just for taking the first step. But you must call now. With 2 convenient locations in Layton and Sandy, help is closer than you think. Call 801-804-8000 now. That's 801-804-8000. Mint Medical Clinic. We'll get you back to mint condition.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Any Hour Services free furnace sale is going on right now. If you haven't scheduled your free estimate yet, what are you waiting for? Call Any Hour Services today or schedule online at anyhourservices.com.
KSL News Time, 12:25. A woman in her 60s has died after riding the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland. KTLA reports she was unresponsive after finishing riding the attraction. She was taken to a hospital where she was later pronounced dead. Her exact cause of death has not been released. Watching Utah's Money, we're hearing about more meal kit recalls. The USDA says several meals distributed by Blue Apron and Marley Spoon could have listeria. It wasn't just the spinach this time, it's the cauliflower used in those meals. It's getting easier to buy weight loss drugs. Sam's Club pharmacies are now selling Wegovy and Ozempic for about $500 a month. Sam's Club has almost 570 pharmacies across the U.S. It's getting more expensive to visit the happiest place on earth. The Disneyland raised its prices overnight. Busy days will now cost $224 a person. That's up from $206. Price for all one-day, one-park tickets will increase in price by about 1.5%. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is now down by 253 points. That's 0.5%, sitting at 46,348. S&P 500 down by 26 points, and the Nasdaq down by 76 points. Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, has released a new essay on the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, urging parents to put down the phones and laptops.
Princess Kate is calling this an epidemic of disconnection, and she says it's especially troubling for young children. Now, in this new essay, she writes, when we check our phones during conversations, scroll through social media during family dinners, or respond to emails while playing with our children, we're not just being distracted, we are withdrawing the basic form of love that human connection requires.
That is ABC's Maggie Ruling reporting.
These Cougars are rolling.
Parker Kingston has the first down and more.
Rocking and rolling.
He's going to go 20, 10, touchdown!
The nationally ranked BYU Cougars put their undefeated record on the line Saturday against Arizona.
It's a 2-touchdown quarter.
Listen to Cougar Tracks all this week from 6:30 to 7. And catch every play on Saturday on Utah's legacy home of the Cougars.
It's game time, yeah, we on the way.
KSL News Radio.
Temperatures might be cooling down, but fall camping's just warming up, and so is the country's largest used RV show. That's right, we're back in Utah just in time to outfit you for even more fall fun. October 9th through the 11th, we're packing the parking lot at the shops at Southtown with a huge selection of used RVs to fit any budget. Shop travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, motorhomes, and more, all in one lot. We're talking RVs starting as low as $7,995. No payments until 2026 on approved credit. You'll also find new RVs at the show at used pricing, like all remaining new 2024s, and select 2025s marked down for fall discounts. Plus, get hooked up with specially priced hunting trailers just in time for hunting season. Get more details and find the best deals early at UtahUsedRVShow.com. All this plus free admission to the country's largest used RV show. 3 days only, October 9th through the 11th at the shops at Southtown. Open daily at 11 a.m. Sponsored by Bish's RV. See you there. Stock number 759418. Subject to prior sale. See dealer for details.
Join KSL News Radio's Amanda Dixon this Friday from 3 to 5 at the Salt Lake NPS store at 1600 Empire Road. That is npsstore.com. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by Mountain America. Turn everyday spending into an extraordinary escape. Ricky?
Nice and quiet freeway traffic rolling along, looking good. No accidents or delays. A disabled vehicle, really not too big of a problem, but be aware of it in Taylorsville at the bottom of the off-ramp from the west belt of I-215 at 4700 South. Common Spirit Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers, all connected to advanced health care in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with human kindness is here. Hello, human kindness. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, pretty warm temperatures today, topping out at 82 degrees. Increasing clouds later in the afternoon. By late tonight and early tomorrow morning, I've got showers with a low of 62. Tomorrow afternoon, dry 76, but then tomorrow evening, the showers resume. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
A lot of sunshine right now in downtown Salt Lake City, 79 degrees.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon. KSL News Time, 12:30. KSL's top story this half hour. Some parents from an Ogden charter school are concerned the school wasn't notified police about the recent threats and violence at nearby Ben Lomond High School. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live with more on that complaint and how the school is addressing it. Heather?
Maria, Leadership Learning Academy's Ogden campus is exactly 1 mile from Ben Lomond. They weren't notified by police when there was a bomb threat last week or a deadly shooting of a student outside Ben Lomond on Tuesday. Micah Smith, the parent of 5 students at LLA, says that's concerning.
In fact, the shooting occurred right at 3 o'clock as they were doing carpool pickup, and they had all the kids outside.
But Highland Junior High, which is 1.3 miles away, was, and they went into secure protocol. That's because they're part of the Ogden School District. Richard Squire, lead director for LLA, says he wishes they were in the loop as a charter school, so he's now trying to make sure that happens in the future.
I have reached out to our local law enforcement officers, and we're in conversations currently on creating protocols and making sure that we, or any other school for that matter, is not forgotten.
Squire says better communication would help them notify parents about what's going on and why they do or do not need to take steps to keep students safe. We've reached out to Ogden City but have yet to hear back. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
A large crowd gathered outside Ben Lomond High School last night to mourn and remember a 16-year-old boy who was shot and killed. 16-year-old Mason Caballero lost his life after he was shot near the school after classes let out on Tuesday. KSL TV spoke with Mason's older brother, Jackson Payne, at the vigil.
It's hard. It's so hard. I don't know what to do anymore. I loved that kid. But we'll get through it.
Payne says his brother had the biggest heart he ever knew. Police are still searching for the shooter. The man accused of shooting multiple rounds at the occupied security booth at the Missionary Training Center in Provo has been sentenced to prison. Prosecutors say Dallin Litzer served up to 40 years for his crimes. The shooting happened back in 2020. Litzer claimed it was just vandalism and not a drive-by. The security guard at the booth at the time was not seriously injured. Police are looking for a man believed to be in connection to a hoax bomb threat at Leighton Smith's last month. A photo of the person is available on our website, kslnewsradio.com. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact police. Prosecutors are dropping some charges against the Park City mom accused of killing her husband. KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla reports.
Corey Richens is no longer facing drug distribution and mortgage fraud charges. She is accused of killing her husband back in 2022 with fentanyl. She is still dealing with some very serious charges: an attempted aggravated murder charge for a failed attempt at killing her husband, an aggravated murder charge, a forgery charge, and 2 insurance fraud charges. Investigators say those financial crimes happened in the years leading up to the murder. After the death, she even wrote and promoted a children's book about dealing with grief. She's set to go to trial February 23, 2026. Alexandria Bonilla, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. People around the world are celebrating the peace agreement between Israel and Hamas. It's not finalized yet, but the two parties have agreed to tackle the first phase, which includes releasing dozens of hostages. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
We've heard from an Israeli official that once the Israelis ratify this agreement, that the ceasefire itself will begin in Gaza over the course of 24 hours. And so after that 24 hours is when the 72-hour window begins for all of the hostages to be released and turned over.
They should be home by Tuesday at the latest. President says he's planning to travel to the Middle East in a couple of days to celebrate.
That'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there. And we're working on the timing. The exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing.
Here in Utah, some people are calling the peace deal a hopeful step. Others say it's just another temporary fix. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is live with more from a Utah man closely tied to the region. Eric?
Maria, Mustafa Khader was born in Jerusalem and has lived in Utah for 20 years. He and his wife are part of Utahns for a Just Peace in the Holy Land. He tells me he's skeptical this agreement will bring lasting peace, saying it feels more like a Band-Aid than a real solution.
If they really want peace, they've got to offer peace for the underdog. We do not have the resources the Israelis have through the backing of the United States and the Western countries. And they think might makes right. Might does not make right. Justice make right.
Cotter says until deeper issues like equality and accountability are addressed, any truce will be temporary. We've also reached out to a Utah rabbi who's expected to share his perspective later today on Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News. Live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
First look traffic. Let's check in with Ricky.
We are looking at a nice drive. Valley Freeway traffic rolling along quiet on the roads. No accidents and no delays. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 1236.
Many Medicare health insurance plans are cutting back on benefits, reducing coverage areas, or increasing costs. The Medicare annual election period begins October 15th. Legacy Insurance provides local agents you can count on to help you get the most of your Medicare benefits and to be there for you over the years. Call 801-281-0066, 801-281-0066, and ask for a real agent. Currently, Legacy Insurance represents 58 organizations, which offer 93 products in your area. You can always contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-MEDICARE, or your local state health insurance program for help with plan choices. There are significant changes to Medicare plans this year. Learn more or request help from a caring and local professional by visiting them online at BecauseWeProtectYou.com. That's BecauseWeProtectYou.com.
The Social Security Administration just announced they are now projected to run out of money 1 year earlier than expected. Benefits could be cut by as much as 23%, and the average person could lose more than $100,000 in lifetime income. This news could significantly change when you file for Social Security. Discover how you could get every penny out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 801-896-9622. This free, customized analysis could help you get every penny out of Social Security. Call 801-896-9622. That number again, 801-896-9622.
Boss Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the Social Security Administration.
Thank you for joining us for Midday, recapping our top story this half hour. Some parents are concerned a charter school near Ben Lomond High School was not informed of the recent incidents there, raising questions as to whether charter schools are included in law enforcement's notification plans. KSL News Time, 1238. People under 40 are so stressed out they are suffering from cognitive disabilities at an early age. KSL News Radio's Heather Kelly has details.
Difficulty making decisions, concentrating, and remembering are all listed as cognitive disabilities. And the research from a new study shows nearly 10% of those under 40 are having issues. That's almost double the number from a decade ago. The study published in the American Academy of Neurology states economic stressors appear to be the biggest factor in the rise of mental burdens, like an uncertain job market and households making less than $35,000 a year. The authors also say poor physical health reinforces poor mental health, so being active can help break the decline of memory loss for everyone. Heather Kelly, KSL News Radio.
There are now 53 confirmed cases of measles in Utah this year. Director of Communications with Salt Lake County Health Department, Nicholas Rupp, tells Inside Sources this is a big deal.
Tragically, 1 in 5 unvaccinated people who get measles will end up hospitalized. 1 in 20 unvaccinated children who get measles will end up with pneumonia, and 1 in 1,000 children will develop encephalitis.
Encephalitis is a form of brain swelling which can lead to permanent intellectual disabilities. Rupp says anyone with proper vaccinations have no need to worry. Salt Lake City Council members once again delayed a vote on a zoning rule change related to the rebuilding of West High School. KSL News Radio's Josue Sanchez has more.
Councilmember Chris Wharton said in a council meeting this week they want to delay the voting again because they want to